Hi there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Cancer energy. And like usual on this channel, we're going to do 2 rows. Just had a group of cards fall out. And we're going to use these decks from Maruk X off their Etsy shop. Kind of a Lenormand and a Kipper deck combined. And we're going to see what kind of message we get out of these. Anyway, we're going to do 2 rows like usual. The top row is going to be high vibe Cancer energy. The bottom row is what we call a more worldly, shadowy Cancer energy. We've all got our dualistic nature, and some people could be battling within themselves because we have to make decisions in our free will. And the worldly, shadowy energy can be where we're tempted to keep living life the way we've been living it because it's scary to live our life differently, and it can require that we face our fears, that could require that we get out of our ego, expand our perception of ourselves and the world around us. Might have to end up changing jobs or friendships, and it can just be a struggle. But at any given moment, there is going to be some people moving forward in life differently, and when some people are moving forward in life differently, some other people aren't ready to move forward in life differently, and they may never be ready to move forward in life differently. Life's all about learning lessons, and we all kind of expand our perception of ourselves and the world around us and learn lessons at different times in life. So the reason for the top rose reading is a mature woman. It's also the reason why the reading came out. The mature woman kind of reminds me of a Queen of Pentacles, which the feminine figures in tarot can talk about how we think and feel. And I view the Queen of Pentacles as Taurus energy, which has to do with our philosophy of life. We come in contact with all these different people to see if we're really on the same page, and if to help us get clear about what our truth is, and maybe emotionally what drives and motivates us and how we view life and how we view relationships could be different. But it also could represent a job. It could represent a family dynamic and things like that too. Well, let's just go look at the top row. We have a gift, main male, half-truths, courthouse, lilies, and the tunnel card. Well, for one, the masculine energies, and this says main male, the masculine energies can represent our egoic nature. We all can present ourselves in the world any way we want, but what is the truth of how we think and feel? And sometimes we're just more kind of out of balance, where maybe we're not taking action in our life in alignment with our truth. Maybe because the reason for the bottom rose reading is the heart card, and the feminine figure can represent us being more in our emotions or intuition. Maybe we previously were letting our heart run our life, and life is about being balanced, so kind of being more, trying to get more balanced, maybe in our philosophy of life, that I can't just let my heart, kind of drive my life off into the ditch. And masculine energy can be where we're kind of taking our stand in our life to stand up for what we believe in. And the Queen of Pentacles is earth sign energy, getting more grounded. I do want these things of the world that I want to invest in, but I can't let it make me disregard like my stability and my security. And it's about a balance of both. And while we're doing that within ourselves, getting balance kind of between emotionally how we think and feel, and also being practical and grounded to take action to bring our dreams into reality. While we're doing that, we could also make offers to other people in the world who we think are on the same page as us. But we have to be careful because our own egoic nature kind of wants to be kind of in control of our life. And we're trying to be more balanced within ourselves, that I don't want my ego and my heart, to kind of drive my life off into the ditch. And we can kind of get caught up in our fears and insecurities, which is like our half-truths. And so the courthouse, represented there by the scales of justice, is trying to get more balance within ourselves. Let's see, the lilies talk about Capricorn energy, wisdom, sex, maturity, experience, older person, long process, and heritage. And the tunnel is about wanting to I interpret it as wanting to give birth to something new. And sometimes it is a slow process. The lilies kind of mention a slow process. And if we want to do our life differently, the pentacles do talk about having to put work and effort. And then we also need to take action in the world to work through our own fears and insecurities, maintaining balance within ourselves, believing in our dreams. High vibe Capricorn is about freeing yourself from things that manipulate you. So we need to free ourselves from our own ego nature and our fears and our insecurities if we want to get the justice we deserve and be more balanced within ourselves, and if we're motivated and inspired to give birth to something new. And as we're doing that, we could make offers to other people to see if they want kind of view life the same way we do. And I think the queens can talk about us listening to our intuition. If we meet people or other people kind of approach us as we're moving forward, we're going to listen to our intuition if people seem to be telling us the truth or not. And if they're balanced within themselves, if they kind of let more of their ego or their fear or their worldly nature and their want for like stability or security or ego or image or whatever, lust or greed, are they balanced within themselves, and are they being just and fair? And there could have been some people in your life previously, the Queen of Pentacles. It could be people in your life that you are nurturing. The King and Queen of Pentacles is the only married suit of the deck. It could have been someone you were married to. There could have been someone that you were willing to move forward with, but maybe they weren't quite being truthful and honest about kind of what they think is just and fair. And they could have been both the Tunnel card and the Capricorn card, or the Lily card, or Capricorn energy. We can get in relationships with people and they could try to present themselves as harnessing high vibe Cancer energy, that I want to build a foundation on love. Love and listening to my intuition is the guiding foundation that I build my life on. Not ego, not image, not more about myself, not more about my ego. And then you find out when you get in a relationship with them, as time goes by, that they really are more about those things than love. And you kind of realize that, their heart kind of belongs to the world or themselves in a way where they're not really more open to giving and receiving love and being in deep, meaningful relationships, because their more egoic nature does still manipulate them. But everybody can try to present themselves as an emotionally stable, grounded, just, fair, nurturing, loving person. But people can present themselves in the world any way they want. What is the truth of how they really think and feel? And some of the people you've gotten in relationships with were people, their Taurus philosophy of life is it is more about getting in the relationship maybe to indulge himself, the ego, the image, the status. You would seem to be a great person to be in a relationship with if you're loving and nurturing and warm and all those things. But that's not really the truth of who they are. But they tried to present themselves as being someone like that. And then it's kind of a problem, because a more shadowy, worldly relationship can be where it's not really truthful and honest and just and fair, equal give and take. Someone kind of thinks that they should kind of be indulged in the relationship in some way, because they could think what they bring to the table in the relationship, whether that's their looks or their social clout or their money or their status or power or whatever they got going on, or just their being full of themselves. And just the way some people view relationships is that people could view relationships that one person gets more deferred to in a relationship. And if someone's going to get more deferred to in a relationship, it's going to be them. And so they are kind of defensive to maybe more equal give and take and being more authentic and loving and just and fair in a relationship. So I think as you're going through life, some people you already realize and could have taken them to court or held them accountable for their actions. And if they weren't willing to kind of detach from whatever they needed to detach from, that kind of manipulates them from being more kind of on the same page as you in your philosophy of life, and where you kind of learned all the same lessons in a way and kind of view relationships on the same page. And some of those people you've detached from, some other people that you meet, some of those people will move forward with you, some of those people won't. We're always going to have our own ego nature that tries to stop us from giving birth to something new. Because high vibe energy at the big picture is represented by God. Shadowy energy at the big picture represented by the devil. We live in a world of duality. Life-giving energy is about giving birth to new things, and our ego in the world is about doing things the same way that we've been doing it. And that energy clashes within us because we have a dualistic nature. It battles within other people. And everybody has their philosophy of life, of how they view relationships. But there could be some people in your life who do feel that what you have presented them is like a gift, and they could view you as a gift in their life. If some of those people, we can always be moving forward in life, living our life a certain way, and then we're like, wait a minute. Am I headed down the right path? Should I stop moving forward the way I have been moving forward? Because maybe I was kind of deceiving myself, telling myself something was just and fair, and maybe in my Capricorn energy, I was getting a little caught up more in these things of the world. Maybe I've been hanging out with some people that are kind of more about those things of the world, and really, I'm realizing maybe that's not my truth, or things kind of got a little tipped out of balance. And if some people are going to quit moving forward the way they've been moving forward because they think you're more aligned with their truth, some people could do that. But there's going to be other people that kind of just want to be the next person to indulge in a relationship with you. And I think, if you think that they're not telling you the truth, then I think those people you'll move on from. If you think you worked through the half-truths could just be confusion, that what people thought wasn't the reality, I kind of realized looking back on relationships, it's surprising how many things we assume about other people by how they act or do whatever, but we didn't really talk about it. And if people can work through those things to come to a place of balance about it, then they could give birth to something new, and they'll be giving birth to new things. The high vibe people are giving birth to something new regardless. It's just who wants to come with. And they're listening to their intuition, because we've all had to learn lessons about listening to our intuition, because before we could have gotten in things, and even though our intuition was screaming in our ear, we went and did it anyway, because in our more worldly egoic nature, we kind of want what we want, and we think we don't have to listen to our intuition. I'm the boss. I can control this. This will work out the way I want. And our intuition was given to us as a gift to help us navigate in this world. So let's go look at the bottom row. We have the Hammer, Seduction, Clover, the Devil. Let's see. The Hammer talks about fire signs. Fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We're all motivated by these things in the world that we love and that we like to indulge in. And we got a lot of lessons to learn. We can be seduced by a lot of things in the world. And, we all think that what we do at any given moment in time probably is just and fair, or we wouldn't be doing it. But we got some lessons to learn with the devil card. If we take, I think we are going to go out to the edge on things. Oh, with this being Capricorn energy up here, and let's see what else down here. The Capricorn down here, the devil is also Capricorn energy. On the zodiac wheel, Cancer and Capricorn are on opposite sides. And I think we kind of go out to the edge because we have these lessons to learn. And we kind of get burned because we got too far tipped out of balance. And so some of you could have kind of gotten tipped too far out of balance, letting your more loving nature run your life. And then we can, it's to try to learn to be a balance between the two. I need in my Capricorn energy to be practical and grounded and hold people accountable. And high vibe Capricorn again is about being free from the devil, free from some of our fears and insecurities and codependent nature, and how these things of the world and our pride and ego can manipulate us, and how other people can manipulate us. Some people wear really good false masks and we don't realize they're not who they say they are. And we got these lessons learned. And also in fire sign energy, I'm kind of starting to think is kind of maybe the last one to get on board for some people, because in our mind, in our heart, and in our 3D world, and our more worldly fiery nature, we have all these things that we're inspired by in the world. But to align with our more, how to be inspired in our fire sign energy, which is being more authentically ourself in the world, and to quit letting our more worldly, egoic, immature nature run our life. We all had lessons learning that, so we could have been caught up in these things of the world that we thought was something we'd really enjoy or really beneficial. But then, we had some lessons to learn that maybe the reason we would keep staying in it was more out of being imbalanced. Every relationship has to be balanced, but some relationships are equally out of balance. Someone is a very loving, giving, nurturing person, like a Queen of Pentacles, male or female. And there's other people in the world that love that you're a very loving, giving, nurturing person, and that you're kind of tipped out of balance where you don't require necessarily equal give and take. And there's people in the world who will want to take advantage of that. And some people learned a lesson that I need to be more balanced between my Cancer and my Capricorn energy, and to stand up for myself and work through my own emotional confusion about why don't I think I deserve a more just and fair relationship. And if you're a very loving, giving person, it can be kind of hard to set boundaries with people in a way where, because you can give, and other people will take. And sometimes people get spoiled in a relationship, and sometimes people start to feel entitled. Like, the whole reason why you're like that is because of me. It's like, no, the reason I'm like that is because of who I am. But they can start to think that they're entitled to you treating them that way, regardless of how they act. And maybe because you have been loving and giving and nurturing, regardless of how they act. And people can get more and more spoiled in a relationship because of that. And eventually, we can feel like people are taking advantage of us. People are using the love that we have for them to manipulate us. And if we're in a relationship with them and we're trying to move forward to give birth to something new, and then if some of those people are kind of tempted in their ego to go indulge in something else, they had some lessons to learn. Sometimes those people thought finding loving, nurturing, supporting people They're like a dime a dozen. I'll go find someone maybe who had more of these things of the world that I want. I could have been in a relationship with someone, some people could say, that was very emotionally nurturing and loving in their Cancer energy, but some people can still be more about the world and ego and image, or want more attention. If people were getting more balance within themselves, are being more balanced within themselves, and kind of requiring a more just and fair relationship. And if some people, that's really not how they like to live their life, and if they keep moving forward with the more balanced, loving people, they have to be that type of person, and that maybe really isn't how they like to live their life, or they're more tempted. I really kind of am more about these things of the world, or me, and some of those people were tempted by something that seemed like a gift to them. And then they could have tried to create confusion about the truth of why they didn't move forward with the more emotionally nurturing, loving, balanced people. And that could have been really difficult for some people. And then those people could have thought, I'm going to go indulge in this. And if I didn't really tell the truth, then maybe if this doesn't work out, I can pop back up in the other people's lives. And the half truths then is kind of reminding me of the Two of Swords, where hoping people are still in two minds about the truth of why they did what they did, and hoping that maybe they can balance things out and go back and work things out with someone who maybe was more stable, grounded, self-disciplined, or nurturing and loving, because maybe the person they went to go get in a relationship with is kind of a little bit more like them, which might be more about ego or image or indulgence. And then they're kind of in a relationship with someone who wants them also to make their life about those things of the world, but maybe nobody is the more nurturing and loving person, because neither one of them are really operating from that type of foundation. They love these things of the world that they want to go indulge in, if that's booze or sex or money, being in the spotlight or something, So some of those people might pop back up in your life. And I think you'll listen to your intuition. If they're telling you half truths, I think now not letting the fact that you could love someone make you kind of indulge them in poor behavior. They could use their charm, their sexuality, their looks, whatever they've got, to try to seduce you, to get you back in a more imbalanced relationship, tempt you with these things of the world, just like your own ego nature tries to make you indulge yourself in your more immature nature, instead of maintaining balance within yourself and loving and believing in yourself, and kind of walking the talk would be high vibe Taurus energy. But there's also going to be other people that have went through life experiences like you, that we've all got these lessons to learn. And there's going to be other people that you're going to meet, make offers to, other people who are going to present themselves to you. And are they willing, high vibe energy is about kind of not being in your defensive egoic nature, willing to admit that I made mistakes in life, that I had growing up to do, I had healing to do, and I have learned those lessons now. And that would be where they're listening to their intuition also. You're listening to your intuition to see if people are telling the truth, and if they really have gotten more balance within themselves and emotionally grown and matured themselves. And if everybody has put in this work and effort to free themselves from being more manipulated by being more about themselves or their ego or their image or these things of the world, and they're ready to be in a more emotionally mature relationship. So high vibe people are moving forward with or without people. It's just who's on the same page as me. I'm going to listen to my intuition. I'm going to appreciate what I bring to the table. I'm going to take action to get the justice I deserve in the world. I'm not going to stay stuck. If there's people in my life that aren't wanting to work together with me, I will assume they're in their own wonderful relationship, or I'll assume that maybe they're not who I thought they were. I don't have to figure out the truth about other people. Some people I feel like I do know the truth of because I know them well enough. Other people that I meet or that I haven't been in contact with for a long time or something, I might not really know them well enough or know them well enough now to know what their truth is. But I'm not going to let it keep me stuck. I'm going to take action to get the justice I deserve, and I'm going to put work and effort to give birth to this new life that I want to give birth to. And if people are going to move forward with me, they have to treat me now in this just and fair way because I am balanced between my Cancer, loving nature, and my more practical, grounded Capricorn energy. And I'm not going to get tipped out of balance in making my life too much about these things of the world in Capricorn energy. And I'm not going to indulge people in poor behavior in my more loving nature. And I think some of the people that still have lessons to learn, that haven't learned some of the lessons you've learned, still could be driven and motivated by these things of the world or their own ego or their more immature nature or trying to control things in a relationship. So let's see what's coming up. What's coming up for people who harness some high vibe Cancer energy that they might not see coming up? If you're looking for a new job, I suppose we could kind of look at masculine energy as kind of representing the world. You might go look for a new job and they might be trying to decide if they think you're who you say you are. The Queen of Pentacles can be these resources and knowledge and skills that you have, and they're trying to figure out if you are an appropriate match for the job, and if so, then, and if they listen to their intuition also, then you might get a new job. But what's coming up for people who harness some high vibe Cancer energy that they might not see coming up? Okay, we have the World card, the Six of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Justice card, the Eight of Cups, the Death card, and the Seven of Wands. And the reason those came out is because of the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is Aquarius energy, that you have a dream and you're listening to your intuition and based on the lessons that you've learned in life, because you have dealt with people before who were in their Aquarius energy more about these things of the world and ego and image, and you felt they were deceptive and manipulative. So you don't want to repeat that past pattern, and you don't want to be in relationships with people who are more about wanting to indulge in these things of the world, them be indulged in their ego, or the money and materialism and status and image is the most important thing in their life. You don't want to repeat that pattern. You have emotionally invested in high vibe Aquarius energy of looking at life from a higher perspective. And you've put things into perspective, and you want your dreams to come into reality and get the justice you deserve. So it's about loving yourself to emotionally detach from your defensive nature and to emotionally detach from the past and people in your life who are defensive to being just and fair in a relationship or working together with you to get you that justice. And you're going to stand up for yourself and move forward in an emotionally inspired, authentic, and loving way to manifest your dreams into reality. And I think as you move forward in that energy, there's going to be some people who are going to be deceptive and manipulative who, like, I want to be the next person to indulge in a relationship with you. And you're going to get to know them and listen to your intuition about The truth. Do they have illusions about relationships? Is it more for the ego or the image? Or have they learned lessons? Have they not? If they are more about themselves or things of the world, I think you're going to walk away from them and stand up for what you believe in. Because if you know they view relationships a certain way, where it is more kind of people trying to tempt you in your more worldly nature, egoic nature, prideful nature, competitive nature, lustful nature, materialistic nature, that isn't the truth you're looking for. You're looking for someone, yes, I want to be in a relationship with someone who I'm attracted to, but I want someone who's looked at life from a higher perspective that is offering me the truth, who is emotionally mature, who is balanced within themselves, doesn't have this illusion about relationships or just want to indulge in an illusion to indulge himself in it. I want someone who's put an end to being in their more prideful nature and defensive nature, who has looked at life from a higher perspective also and has emotionally grown and matured themselves and realized, if I want to be in relationships with people who are loving and nurturing and just and fair and authentic, I should be that type of person. And if they haven't figured out the truth of that, you've already been in relationships with people who are more aligned with their worldly, defensive, egoic, self-centered, indulgent nature. And you don't want to be in relationships with people like that anymore. And if they do seem like you guys have clarified any confusion and they have looked at life from a higher perspective and they are more independent of their egoic nature, then those would be people you'll move forward with. What's coming up for the people who might harness a more shadowy or worldly Cancer energy, which can be where people try to present themselves as like loving family people, that people should want to be in a relationship with them because they're these like loving people, but they're actually operating more from their defensive egoic nature, or it's more to get people in a relationship because it's good for their ego and their image, but they're not. It's like a false mask they wear. They use their emotions manipulatively in a relationship to get people to do what they want, not being authentic and honest. What's coming up for those people that they might not see coming up? Right now, those people could be trying to seduce someone to get those people to move forward with them in a relationship. Okay. The Ten of Pentacles, because of the Fool and the Five of Swords. When people are kind of being maybe kind of stubborn or bossy or controlling or manipulative, you know, for a long time, people can always be hoping that one day they're going to change, and I love them, so hopefully one day they'll kind of grow up and mature themselves. But eventually we have to stand up for ourselves. The lights just came on, being illuminated to the truth that, you know, if they were interested, the Fives talk about change in the Five of Swords. If people were interested in dealing with their mental conflict and seeing the truth of why they're not more just and fair or act with character and integrity or more emotionally mature or self-disciplined or authentic or loving in a relationship, they would have done that by now. And eventually people are ready to take a leap of faith because they've changed and they've healed and they've seen the truth, no longer in denial of the truth. And when people act in these kind of shadowy ways, there's eventually people in their life that don't want to keep being in a relationship with them anymore, because it just causes a mental conflict, and they do this work within themselves to figure out, why don't I stand up for myself? Why don't I maybe love myself and appreciate what I bring to the table? And they start to do this work within themselves to work through their own mental conflict about believing they deserve a more just and fairer relationship. And they start to do this work to free themselves from things that manipulate them, their fear, their insecurity, their more codependent nature. And they're ready to move forward in life differently. And for some of the people, that are kind of manipulating or trying to tempt people in money, lust, or greed, or ego, using their love to try to manipulate them, eventually some of those people are going to leave. And they didn't see that coming. Because in Virgo energy, they've seen the truth. And in their Aries energy and their Aquarius energy, I am bold and brave and confident enough to do this work within myself, to love myself and heal, and believe in what I bring to the table, and what believe that I can manifest my dreams into reality. I'm not going to give up my dreams of being in emotionally mature, loving relationships to keep staying in this relationship, which isn't that. Even though I can love you, I'm not going to keep staying in it because there's something unhealthy about it, or unjust, or unfair. And I don't want to stay in relationships just for the ego, or the image, or the money, or the materialism, or the fact that I love you. If you're not being just and fair and emotionally nurturing and authentic and trying to see things maybe from my perspective too, then I'm going to stand up for myself against people who I think are being deceptive and manipulative, or egotistical, or self-centered, or want to be in the relationship for the wrong reason. And some of the shadowy people did not see that coming. And some people are doing that right now. And other people are going to keep staying in it, which in a way, some people could be surprised that some people keep staying in it. Wow, I can't believe this person keeps kind of putting up with my shit. You know? Gee, they're such a loving person. There'd be all sorts of people that would want to be in a relationship with them probably, but for some reason they got some mental conflict about leaving, so hey, you want to let me keep indulging in a relationship with you, and even though I'm not being just and fair and kind of being deceptive and manipulative, or hurtful, or unkind, or bossy, or controlling in some way, okay, it works for me. And that's what we have to see too. Some of the people, there can always be high vibe people in the world that wish that other people would get out of these mismatched relationships like they did, because they want to move forward with those high vibe people, but those high vibe people keep being manipulated by their fear, or their insecurity, or other people in their life, and they're not kind of loving and believing in themselves to be more independent and stand up for themselves. And so then if we know there's people we'd like to be in a relationship with, but they have these things that manipulate them, well, we want to give birth to what we want to give birth to. So, I wish you peace. Would have liked to have worked with you, but that's not happening. So I'm going to believe in my dreams to go get the justice I deserve. And I'm going to keep loving and believing in myself. I'm going to get out of my ego about it. And I'm going to work with people in the world who do want to work together with me. And if that's going and getting a new job, or a different job, or a better job, or just continuing to love and believe in myself and stand up for what I believe in, then that's what I'm going to do, because I'm not going to settle for half-truths or deceptive, manipulative people. People have to be just and fair and have put in the work and effort to be a more emotionally mature, stable, grounded person who walks the talk, or they can go be in a relationship with someone else. And I will go be happy, enjoying my life, not being in a relationship with people who try to manipulate or control people, or are deceptive or manipulative. Someone else can enjoy your company. So there you go, Cancer energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.